JW is going to unleash, especially coming off a big win over Mike Zambides.
Okay, folks, let's check it out. JW, the gunslinger, John Wayne Barr, and Buakaw Pramuk in the rematch the entire world has been waiting for the WMC World Junior Middleweight Championship.
Some people say I've got to almost legendary status. I'm just like any other fighter here in Thailand trying to make a living. The first time I fought Buakaw was in 2004. After 3 rounds, it was a draw, and they made us fight an extension round. 2 judges went for him and 1 went for me, so it was only a 1-point loss. It's such an honour to be fighting him again. I know in Jamaica that I'm going to have to bring my A game. I'm definitely going to be an underdog, but at the same time, I'm not intimidated at all. 1 punch or 1 kick can end the fight.
John Wayne Barr, Australia's own, about to make his way to centering here in Montego Bay. Arguably the most popular Muay Thai fighter on the planet. He was runner-up in the Contender Asia Series 1, where he lost to Yodson Kwai in the final, JW. This his 100th career fight. A magnificent record, a 49% knockout ratio. Coming off a cracking 5-round decision win over Iron Mike Zambides in Melbourne in May. Before that, he had a decision loss to Thai superstar Matsui under full Muay Thai rules in Brisbane on April 4. He's gone 4-2 in his last 6 outings, including wins over Sean Wright, Jaber Askarov and Kozo Takeda. Now let's take a look at Buakaw Pramuk.
For me, I love doing the best that I can. Win or lose, we see later. I'm very excited because it's a country I've never visited before, too. It depends on the preparation of each side, because the fight game depends on who is better prepared, or who's got better technique. They can take the win.
Buakaw Pramuk makes his way to centering. His real name is Sombat Bunchamek from Suring, Thailand. And of course known worldwide as Buakaw, the K1 Max superstar, who once again this year finds himself in the final 8 of the K1 Max, in which he'll be competing in only 2.5 weeks' time at the Budokan in Tokyo. You've got to wonder, folks, how that is playing on the mind of Buakaw and his game plan here tonight, knowing he's got to take on the Dutch fighter Nicky Holtzken at the Budokan in Tokyo in only 2.5 weeks' time for the huge money fight that is the K1 Max. As the Hammerstead returning to his roots here tonight, a former WMC middleweight world champion when he beat John Hogg for the title about 2.5 years ago. The incredible power of Buakaw Pramuk. Let's take a look at how these two legends stack up. The elder of the two, John Wayne Barr, 5 years going his way. 3 centimetres taller is Barr. He is also the heavier. He weighed in at 71 kilos on the money yesterday. Buakaw coming in more as a super welterweight at 69.5. The experience advantage going the way of Buakaw, this being his 188th fight. And JW, of course, in fight number 100. Let's go across for the official introductions. Cedric, the entertainer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Fight fans, how you feel out there? All right, let's get ready to do something. We got the fighters in the ring. Rizark Production presents 5 rounds of boxing in the junior middleweight division. This fight is sanctioned by the World Muay Thai Council. The judges at ringside. From the USA, Gary Finnerty. From the USA, Paulo Tucha. From Thailand, Redong Nambangcham. And the third man in the ring, your referee from Thailand, Tan Pong Patik. Introducing first, in the blue corner. He weighed in at 71 kilograms. His professional record, 72 wins, 27 losses, 0 draws, 35 wins by way of knockout. Fighting out of the Gold Coast of Australia, please welcome John Wayne, the gunslinger, Parr. Introducing in the red corner. He weighed in at 69.5 kilograms. His professional record, 187 wins, 20 losses, 12 draws, 47 wins by way of knockout. Fighting out of Bangkok, Thailand. Please welcome Buakaw.
And Buakaw, Pramuk, John Wayne Parr, as we said earlier on, this is a fight the whole world has been demanding since they last met. They first met in 2004 in the K1 Max in Japan. On that occasion, a controversial one. It went to an extra round, which is rare enough in K1 Max, and it was Buakaw Pramuk who emerged victorious. Wayne has been asking for it. He has been itching to get Buakaw back in centering, and under Wayne's preferred rule set of full Muay Thai, knees and elbows. And finally, the dream comes true for Australia's all-time greatest, John Wayne Parr, here tonight. As I said, a big moment here for Wayne in his 100th career fight. Also his wife Angie fighting on tonight's card. So Hammer, you've got to ask that question as well. What sort of pressure is on Wayne knowing that his own wife is fighting later on for a world title against Julie Kitchen?
Well, as you know, Michael, I'm very close with John Wayne Parr, and he always has an extreme amount of pressure on him in every single fight he steps in the ring for. Add to that, this is his centenary fight. This is his 100th fight. You don't want to lose your 100th fight. Add to that, he's got his wife fighting on the same card. There is a lot happening in this man's life as he steps in the centre ring for this one.
Hammer, add to that a little bit of controversy at yesterday's weigh-in.
Sure.
Now, what happened yesterday, folks? Let me take you through it. Wayne Parr stepped onto the scales at 71 kilos even, believing the fight was contracted at 71 kilos. Buakaw was then asked to step onto the scales and refused. He sat down, shook his head and said, I'm not weighing him, I'm not even fighting. This fight is meant to be at 70 kilos, which is the K1 max weight limit, not at 71. It took around about an hour of coaxing and discussions with the WMC officials and Team Paul Pramuk before Buakaw finally accepted to step onto the scales yesterday at the weigh-in, and he stepped up and weighed 69.5 kilos, 1.5 kilos lighter than JW. Of course, a big marked difference here tonight, Hammer. We know that JW is infamous for stacking on the weight literally overnight. No doubt JW will be up to about probably 78 kilos here in centering. Once he replenished his liquids, he put the carbs back into his body last night. We know he is an absolute beast when he actually steps into centering.
Let me tell you, before the Mike Zambides fight, which was only less than 2 months ago, Wayne really struggled to make the weight. I was at the weigh-in with him, and he stepped onto those scales and didn't look in a good way. Got a good 24 hours to recover, but then, you know, the decision was made in consultation with his doctor to speak to a nutritionist and make sure that in future, before any fight, he loses weight correctly. Now, that's exactly what happened after the Zambo fight. He went, consulted with the nutritionist on the Gold Coast in Australia. They wrote out a specific eating plan for him, and you know, we were talking almost every week coming up to this fight, and he was giving me the updates on my weight. You know, I'm there, I'm 75, 2 weeks out, so the weight loss has not been as dramatic coming into this fight as it has been in past fights. So, having said that, after the weigh-in yesterday, we spoke and I said to him, you know, you're looking more energised after this weigh-in than you did after the last. And after the last weigh-in and the last fight, he absolutely pummeled Mike Zambides. So I'm confident that Wayne will come into this one with a lot more energy than even when he fought Zambides.
And let's take a look at Buakaw. As I said earlier on, he is scheduled in 2.5 weeks' time to fight in the K1 Max Final 8 at the Budokan in Tokyo. Buakaw has not been himself of late, Hammer, in the K1 Max, even though he has had made the Final 8. Last time out, he fought mixed martial arts fighter Andre Dida. It was only Andre Dida's second ever fight under K1 Max rules. And mind you, folks, Buakaw Pramuk, a former 2-time World Max champion. Andre Dida almost knocked his head off, almost knocked out Buakaw in the first round, and Buakaw had to take Andre Dida into an extension round to beat him back in March. I was there for that one, Hammer, and I'm telling you, it was not the Buakaw who absolutely steamrolled through the K1 Max back in 2006. It was a different Buakaw. You've got to wonder again what is going through his mind, knowing that he's fighting in 2.5 weeks' time in Tokyo on the lucrative K1 Max that has made him a millionaire.
Sure.
What's going through his mind here tonight, Hammer?
Well, look, he's obviously, has his loyalty to Muay Thai and, of course, the WMC. And Buakaw is a great man. He's a really nice guy and one of the friendliest Thai fighters you will meet. He's got some fairly staunch management, I've got to say that. And they were the ones yesterday more with a controversy at the weigh-in. It wasn't so much Buakaw, I think, that had a problem with the kilo as it was his management. So Buakaw was there and being dictated to as to what he should and shouldn't do. You're right, Michael. Looking back and reflecting over the footage and, of course, Buakaw's fight history, he was at his peak in 06-07. He has not had a lot of luck on the K1 circuit and certainly has not had the staunch activity fighting under Muay Thai rules that perhaps he would need or he needs to come into this fight.
And let's not forget also last year, 2008, knocked out for the very first time in his career by Yoshihiro Sato at the K1 Max Final 8 as well. As I said, it hasn't been the same Buakaw as it was back in 05-06 as what we've been seeing over the last 12 months. A man who was a former 140-pound fighter. He won the coveted Toyota Marathon 140-pound tournament at Lumpini Stadium back in 2002. He had a win on that occasion over Japanese star Kobayashi. He also became the KOMA lightweight GP champion in 2003. He was an Omnoi Stadium champion at both lightweight and featherweight. And as I said, most decorated at the K1 Max, a former two-time World K1 Max champion. Wayne Parr, former WMC World's Middleweight champion, WKBA World champion, IMF Kings Cup champion. Coming off that cracking win over Iron Mike Zambides in Melbourne. You're also talking, folks, here about two of the busiest fighters in the world. Parr has had 37 fights for 26 wins since 2002, giving him a 70% win average, which is just amazing, fighting at such a high level. Buakaw has had 47 fights for 38 wins since 2002, giving him a 64% win average. And as I said, he's also become a two-time K1 Max World Champion in that time period. Last time they fought, 2004, extra round split decision going the way of Buakaw. This is the rematch of Wayne Parr, and indeed the entire world has been waiting 5 years for. We are seeing Buakaw doing possibly the longest wide crew I have ever seen, Hammer, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Well, he's certainly taking his time and getting back to his roots, so to speak, with the wide crew, and really just centering and making Wayne wait as well, which Wayne will be eager to get it on, and Buakaw's just making him wait and think about what's about to happen.
Hammer, once again, you look at the quality of Buakaw. As I said, he defeated Jomhod back in 2006 via leg kicks for the WMC World Middleweight title. You have a look at his K1 Max career, and in his 27 fights in K1 Max, he's only ever lost to the best of the best. His losses have come against Andy Sauer, who is another K1 Max former champion, Masato, the current K1 Max champion, Albert Kraus, the first ever K1 Max champion, and Yoshihiro Sato. So the best guys in Max are the only guys to beat them. 3 of those guys have held the championship, and only 4 of them have been K1 Max champions. So if you include Buakaw in that mix, he only loses traditionally, Hammer, to the best of the best.
Well, certainly, and that is a trend that he wants to change. So all will be revealed in a few short moments. And, we're talking about carnage versus Spong, but this fight here is certainly one that has got great interest.
Final instructions here from the centre referee. You've got to wonder if early on here the aggression in the hands, in particular of John Wayne Parr, will make the difference. In his pro boxing career, a record of 10-3 with 10 knockouts. His last boxing fight, a decision loss to Sakio Bika back in 2003. JW has the hands. Buakaw, I would say, has the power with the legs. JW, in my opinion, needs to jump on Buakaw early here and try and knock the tie out while Buakaw is still cold. Once Buakaw gets his momentum going, once he finds his rhythm, it will get to JW. JW is going to pounce at him like a rabid pit bull in the first round. Let's see how it goes down. The world's title is on the line, 5-3.
Well, that is certainly Wayne's game plan. He's been doing a lot of sparring with Aussie pro Les Sherrington down at his gym, Bunchu Gym. And Les Sherrington is is a boxer that I rate very highly in Australia, so Wayne's hands are going to be very sharp, and if there's an opening on Buakaw, I believe that's where it's also going to be, Michael.
Here we go, first round of action. The voice, Michael Chavello, Mark the Hammer Castanini with your ringside from beautiful Montego Bay in Jamaica, John Wayne Parr, the Aussie in the black. Buakaw, Pramuk of Thailand in the white and silver. Step across outside thigh kick from JW. Fires off the rear hand, bit of that early hand artillery coming into play there from the Aussie. Buakaw skips forward, nice tip kick to the midsection from the Thai. JW goes to the red basket. They trade leg kicks. Neither man managing to get the check in time. As JW goes to the liver section, you will see Buakaw drop his hands, which has been his undoing of late in K1 Max. As I said, by this time already against Andre Dida last time out, the very inexperienced Andre Dida, well, Buakaw was doing the chicken dance on his feet. Dida almost knocked him out early on.
And good to see the promoters have jumped on the problem of the logos on the ring mat, ripped them up, and put the fighters' priorities over their own, and taken those logos off to make sure that the action is first class in all these bouts.
Buakaw just seeing what J-Dub has to offer here. J-W goes for the cage, good catch and sweep. Textbook execution there from Buakaw for Pramuk. Buakaw's 220th career fight. JW's centenary. 100 fights tonight for Australia's greatest ever.
And that takedown that the Buakaw just executed, the Thai judges are going to love that. They're going to absolutely love it.
As always, Buakaw absolutely ripped, stripped and striated. More muscles than a seafood casserole on the Thai. JW looking to feint with the right hand there. Buakaw wades out with a turning left hook, fires a front kick to the midsection.
Seafood casserole. You've been watching a bit of Gordon Ramsay.
No, I've been eating the buffet at the Hotel Hammer. Seafood myself, senseless here in Jamaica. J-Dub goes to the outside lead thigh again. Ooh, nice high right round kick from Buakaw. Look at the loop to shoot around the back of the neck and tags JW on the way in with a nice short left hook. You'll often see Buakaw smile at J-Dub. Even when he gets hit, it's a Thai trademark. When you get hit hard, the smile's even bigger, just to show your opponent that they didn't hurt you. Buakaw launches in, throws a left hook.
I think Buakaw's going to be loath to get into any elbow exchanges because, of course, as you mentioned earlier, Michael, he does not want to get cut. He doesn't want to get injured, so he can compete in that K1 tournament coming up. So if I was Wayne, I'd get in close and start to throw the elbows, cut him up a bit. So that's going to maybe play on his thought process. He wants to keep this fight at range.
Buakaw edging forward. JW's guard up nice and high. Chab, outside thigh kick from Buakaw. Throws the knee to the upper left rib cage at the tie. Final few seconds here of the opening round. Been a cerebral fight so far from both of these men. I'd give the slight advantage, though, to Buakaw Pramuk as he throws round kicks off both legs and they head to the corners. Hammer, we will struggle not to show our Australian bias because we have much love for JW. But I've got to give that first round to Buakaw Pramuk 10-9.
Well, certainly no one has more of a one-eyed view on JW than myself. He's been down to my gym down at the Hammer's gym there in Australia and working out with the boys down there, and he's a regular at the gym. But JW, I'm afraid this round I'll have to give to Buakaw, especially, and I think it was the defining moment would have been that takedown. That's probably where he's initiated a lot of attacks. But for me, what has made the difference is the takedown.
Let's take a look how it went down there in the first round.
Once again, JW just getting his leg caught and Buakaw taking him right down very quickly indeed and looking very confident and cocky. Buakaw. JW, I feel, is not as free-flowing as I would like to see him, especially with the hands.
Did you see the size of the calves on Buakaw, Hammer? They're not calves. They're cows. The legs of Buakaw.
It's renowned.
Just massive legs on the tie. As I said earlier, the kicking power that he is renowned for, Buakaw. Also, there was a period, though, Hammer, when Buakaw was renowned for his handiwork. When he won his second K1 Max World title, he steamrolled through everybody with his hands. It was probably the greatest K1 victory in K1 history, be it K1 heavyweights or K1 middleweights. It was just so dominant from Buakaw.
Look, I think as a kick fighter, Buakaw 07, 06, 07 version.
05, 06.
Yeah, right up. It was certainly personified textbook technique. I love his push kick. I love his front kick. He hasn't changed his fight style that much, and this is perhaps something that I'm interested to see. JW, of course, would have studied Buakaw. I would have liked to see him scoop out that push kick and then answer with something, but he's getting pegged with it.
Buakaw, two-time K1 Max World Champion, 04, 06, 05, of course, was won by Andy Sauer, who also repeated in 07. Here we go, second round of action. Unofficially, first round, we're giving the way of Buakaw 10-9. Fires out a side kick, outside thigh kick to the lead leg, but J-Dub checked it. Nice counter kick from Buakaw. Good left hook from the tie. You can see the sweat fly off the brow of J-Dub momentarily. Gut-munching knee, folds him in half like a piano accordion and just throws JW to the canvas. Aggressive start here from Buakaw, poor Pramuk. Oh, good right hand from JW. Just needed a little bit more starch behind it, though, and they are duking it out in centre ring.
Well, JW really needs to shut down the kicking range and get in and work his hands. The lateral movement needs to be quick, and the hands need to be overlapping just as quick. There's another high-scoring technique for Buakaw.
Buakaw, poor Pramuk, more kick than a chorus line here in the second round. Catches J-Dub with the left hand, straight right off the jaw from JW, not getting through. A high right round kick from Buakaw, just trying to compress that carotid artery. Buakaw feels him with the jab, uses it as a rangefinder for that rear leg round kick, and again slams it to the upper left side of the carcass of John Wayne Parr. The Aussie digs him with the uppercut, trying to put the chin through the top of the head. J-Dub, as the hammer said, needs to close the gap, needs to get on the inside and work those succulent hands. 10 knockouts, 10 wins as a pro boxer for JW. He was the man who outboxed the boxer Mike Zambides in Melbourne in May. Buakaw, left hook, high right round kick, good combination there, Hammer.
Good combination, and I noticed that Buakaw is starting to pick up that JW props off his on his rear leg and leaves his front leg up. So he's starting to grab that front leg, that lead leg, and slip into the clinch and push down. So JW needs to sort of move out of that. Again, you see him just propping on his right leg and poking with the left. He either needs to commit with the push kick or not lift that lead leg off the ground at all.
Oh, nice counter again. Leaned out of the back of the 1-2 from JW and just counter-struck him off the hands. Did Buakaw. Ties up the Aussie against the ropes. Tries to drill a knee into the midsection. Referee breaks them. Liver shot from Buakaw. High right round kick. Eats a right hand from JW. Turning elbow from J-Dub. Couldn't get through. Big right hand between the eyes of the tie. Inside the final 30 seconds of the second round of 5. Oh, smack bang on the schnoggin. Overhand elbow from JW. Didn't get past the forearms. That was a beautiful right hand earlier on from the Australian.
Well, this is, I think, the strategy that John Wayne Parr needs to employ. Hands merging to elbows. Look for a cut with the elbow. He just needs to be firing a lot quicker.
Puts on the knee guard, does J-Dub. Buakaw tries to hit off the break with a left hook. Oh, step up elbow. Turns it in nicely off the lead arm, does J-W. End combination from Buakaw. We go to the towels, Hammer. A much harder round to score, in my opinion. First part of the round, I thought, to Buakaw. Latter part of the round to J-Dub.
I'll agree with you there. I think, again, there was a takedown in that round that could just lean that round to Buakaw. A closer round, potentially a draw, potentially going to Buakaw.
Hammer, you're going to get splinters in your backside sitting on the fence like that. Give me a result. Who are you calling it to? Write it down on your little scorecard there. Not that I can understand your writing. You should have been a doctor, Hammer. Who are you scoring it to?
I'm going to go even on that round.
I agree. Hammer, we're in agreement. It's rare. The Jamaican night air has brought out a sense of friendship between us. Camaraderie never seen before in Australia or anywhere else around the world we've commentated together.
Perhaps it could be that waft of Jamaican air flowing around.
There is a certain smell that permeates Jamaica.
That makes us so much more friendly. And a little bit hungry,
and
perhaps.
Relax. Let's have a look how it went down. As we said, folks, unofficially, we're giving it a 10-all round in the second.
And there was a dominance in the clinch from Buakaw that will score highly for him. A nice push kick, Buakaw, and lightning fast reflexes to catch the round kick of John Wayne Parr. Hook, round kick combination, Buakaw, very composed, not wasting a lot of energy and picking his shots. Great precision, Buakaw. John Wayne Parr, I'd like to see him just open up a little bit more, and I think in his mind, he's going to start to throw some more elbows in this coming third round, and I think that's a definite must for him.
JW trying to crack through with the elbows in the second. Not successful in landing one, but they're great to see when the fighters employ all 8 weapons of Muay Thai. Final instructions. Buakaw first to emerge off his stall here in centering. JW a little slower off the mark as he received a lot more instruction in the corner. 10-9 first round, we've given it to Buakaw. 10-all second round, Kane J-Dub.
He certainly
Even
does
up the scorecards, or at least our scorecards, Hammer, as we go the third of 5.
He certainly doesn't look to have the energy that had him amped in Melbourne, Australia, fighting Mike Zambides. But then again, he had 2,500 people on his side. So fighting in a foreign land and against a very tough opponent is looking to be a hard road ahead. A hard night at the office for John Wayne Parr.
Step across, thigh kick from JW. Chases him with the right hand, the big kibosh. And Buakaw wore it, turned him around and countered with a right hand of his own. That was more like it from JW, but how well did Buakaw take that shot, Hammer? He ate the glove.
And again, he wears the right hand, Buakaw.
Crossing elbow from the tie, and again trying to chop the ear off of JW. Tough stuff here from Buakaw. JW finally launching the heavy artillery here in the third.
Lockdown knee strike, knee guard from John Wayne Parr.
Wow, Buakaw forced to lick the leather here in the third round so far. Slammed into the upper right rib gauge. Again. Double jab right hand from JW. They tie up and tango back in front of our commentary position. Great third round here. JW's 100th career fight. I know it's been going through his mind for a long time. Who would be opponent number 100 as he does the lean back and tries to counter with the right hand. When he found out it was going to be Buakaw, he was absolutely elated.
Well, certainly all the people from Queensland and Australia, and especially Bunchu Gym, Wayne's gym, will be on the edge of their seats for this one. Trying to will a win to the Aussie, but Buakaw is looking a little confident, but he gets a little bit more of a blue tinge on his head wearing the gloves of John Wayne Parr.
Buakaw going for that liver again, and he digs down with the left hand, fires a teep kick to the midsection, steps up and locks on the grapple to the tie, and tries to drag J-Dub down with him as the referee gets a little physical. Under a minute remaining here in the third of 5. Elbow from J-Dub, just lost his footing. Takes a big breath, does JW, crossing elbow again, looking to shear the teeth off of Buakaw. Inside thigh kick from J-Dub. Buakaw goes to the outside lead thigh. Just checks him off the front kick, tries to snake in the left hook again, does the tie. And a good bread and butter combination. Jab outside thigh kick from J-Dub. Body shot from Buakaw. JW just needed to turn that right hand a little more. Goes for a crossing elbow off the lead arm. Does the Australian. Buakaw looking to force him against the ropes here and work that. The right hand. Final 10 seconds of this round. Can Buakaw go kleptomaniac and just steal it here with a final technique? Knee to the midsection. End of the round. JW pumps the fist into the air, Hammer, but do you think the Australian got it?
I think it was certainly the best round of the night for him, and landing some good shots with the hands, John Wayne Parr. A good close round yet again. And I'll lean the way of Wayne Parr on that round. I think he landed the cleaner shots with the hand department, answered the low leg kicks, and it was a lot more of an even round with Wayne landing more striking via the hands.
What is happening, Hammer? We're in agreement again. This is unnatural. It does not feel right to me, Hammer. Let's take a look how it went down. We both got it, going the way of JW there in the third.
But it's a long night, and I'm sure things will change, Michael. Again, the rampaging John Wayne Parr stalks forward, and that is the game plan that he needs to employ if he's going to rattle Buakaw, because at kicking range, at distance, it's going to be Buakaw with those long legs, those beautiful push kicks that he's going to be working and overlapping. Buakaw throws a round kick and a double round kick off that rear leg. A lot of power. For those of you watching this one, do not underestimate the power in those round kicks, because tests have likened the Thai round kick to the impact of a car accident. So these guys' bodies are well conditioned to take that impact.
JW receiving instruction in his corner as he looks for his 73rd career win. Buakaw Pramuk looking for his 188th career win. Let's have a look at the Muay Thai power here. Leg kick from Buakaw to the lead leg of JW as he tried to bring it up to check it. They trade leg kicks. JW just pouncing on him. There's the right hand.
Beautiful done. Beautifully done. Now we're sort of getting into the latter rounds. The lactic acid will be kicking into the muscles. The guy's legs and arms will be feeling very heavy indeed. And it really becomes a mental battle now. You have to put all of that out of your mind and just focus at the job at hand. And this is where the fight game becomes a little bit more mental or spiritual and less physical.
Fourth round of 5, Michael Chiavello, Mark the Hammer Castanini with your insight from Montego Bay, champions of Champions 2. I hope you're enjoying it, folks, wherever you're watching. JW cracking away to that lead thigh of Buakaw. Throws the right hand as the lead punch, then the left round kick does JW. Trying to mix it up a little here, the Australian. Good start here from John Wayne Parr as he edges out of the way of the high right round kick of Buakaw. And again, just goes for that lead leg, trying to tenderise the quadriceps area. Buakaw catches the kicking leg, can't execute a sweep, looks for an elbow, then fires away to the lower left rib cage. 3-punch combination not landing for JW. Steps across and hits the back leg. Good timing from the Aussie.
Well, John Wayne Parr needs to look confident. He needs to maintain his balance and poise. Because, again, the judges will be looking at that. They look at aggression and they look at how much balance and Muay Thai technique you exhibit. If you're a little bit loose, a little bit untidy, even though you're scoring, it doesn't always reflect on the judges' scorecard. We've got to remember also the judges are predominantly Thais, scoring one of the Thai greats. So they're going to be looking after their boy, perhaps.
Oh, nice high right round kick from Buakaw, then drills the knee into the sternum of JW. In front of that big Bob Marley banner. Can you go anywhere in Jamaica here, Hammer, without hearing Bob Marley? It's everywhere, Hammer.
Give me love.
Everywhere. One love, brother. One love. Buakaw just edging forward. JW fakes with the back kick. Goes for the inside lead thumb of the tie. Oh, Buakaw, nicely done. High right round kick. Going to loop the shin around the back of the neck again.
I'll tell you what, I'm just surprised they haven't replaced the Thai music with a little bit of reggae. It's absolutely everywhere.
A little bit of the steel drums from the beach as Buakaw comes forward again. JW counters and locks him up. Who will get the better exchange in the clinch here? Buakaw looking for the takedown. A high knee to the upper spine region of JW as the referee has to pry these two men off of each other. Left hook from JW. Buakaw looking down at JW's feet here. Setting himself, perhaps for that right hand, perhaps for another rear leg round kick.
Now it's JW that's stalking Buakaw, and Buakaw moving back. So JW starting to turn the aggressor meter up, and that's exactly what he has to do. He's got to pick up the aggression level. He's got to start to dominate and go bombing.
JW landed a nice left hand. Buakaw just shrugged it off and was straight to the orbital bone of the tie. Final 10 seconds here of the round.
Nice defence, JW. So far for mine, Buakaw hasn't landed anything of any great scoring capabilities.
I tell you what, Hammer, on my scorecard, Wayne Parr takes that one 10-9. So I've got him losing the first round, a drawn second round, the third and fourth going the way of JW, the Australian in the lead by the slightest of margins on our unofficial scorecard. You agree, a 10-9 round there for JW?
Certainly. I'm just going to play devil's advocate here and reassess the scorecard. Now, the first round, definitely Buakaw. The third and fourth, definitely Wayne Parr. For me, it's the second round that's in question. Even though we gave it to Wayne Parr, I'm putting my thought process aside for a moment and trying to get myself in the judges' mind space. I believe they could have and may have given that second round to Buakaw. So if that's the case, that's 2 rounds apiece, which makes this last round the definitive round and the one that's going to be up for the taking.
JW, who we definitely thought won the third and fourth round with combinations like these you're seeing in centering. It was certainly a much more aggressive start from the Australian at the beginning of the fourth round than it had been for the previous 3. Buakaw taking some big breaths. We can see the red corner in front of our commentary position.
Get some smelling salts there for Buakaw. Just trying to clear the nasal passages and get his breathing right. Certainly one thing I've noticed already early in the night is that the fighters, the environment and the air here, the altitude, I think has taken its toll. All these fighters are supremely fit, Michael, but they're looking a little gassed early.
Just to give you folks a little bit of what's happening here around the ring as far as weather goes, it's really not that humid here tonight. There's a beautiful breeze blowing in from behind us, so it's coming in pretty much from Buakaw's red corner, blowing across towards Wayne's blue corner. It's blowing in off the Caribbean Ocean, which is just behind us. Beautiful temperature. It's actually quite cool with that breeze and not that humid. So no really adverse conditions here for our fighters tonight. And as the Hammer said, all have known long about this card and all have trained up an absolute treat for it as we kick off the final round of action here.
Oh, they picked this one up at a lightning pace to start. I think both corners know that this could be the defining round.
Catch and sweep from Buakaw, can't execute it.
Down.
JW back to centre ring. Cracks away that outside lead thigh again. You can see Buakaw drop the left hand to catch the kick. Couldn't work the counter off it. Good leg speed from JW, continually cracking away to that lead thigh of Buakaw. Double round kick off the lead leg. He's switched up off it, used it off the back stance.
Nice defence. John Wayne Parr again with that tight guard. He's built the wall of defence nicely on his lead side.
We said how last time in his last fight against Zambides, he outboxed the boxer. At the moment here in the final round, he is out kicking the kicker. High right round kick from Buakaw. Checks the low kick. Wayne Parr just wades through with the right hand, looking for the tub thumper. Can he find it?
He needs a strong round. He needs a strong finish, the Australian. Buakaw, in turn, needs exactly the same.
All tied up again, dead centre of the ring. Referee has to pry them apart. Don't forget, under WMC rules, you get 5 seconds in the clinch to be active. If not, the referee will break and restart. JW keeping very light on the ball of his front feet, as most Muay Thai fighters do. They'll flick it out to use as a rangefinder with the teep kicks or the front kicks. Skips forward again. He's looking to throw the right hand here. Watch it come down the tube. There it is. Big kibosh from JW. Just rocked the head back and again.
Right hand.
Buakaw doing a quick count of his teeth after that one.
Slightly blue-tinged head now on Buakaw via the leather of John Wayne Parr's gloves.
Fat lip after that one, Hammer. Be able to suck an egg. As they just tango. A little bit of a side headlock there from Buakaw. This has been, I feel, Wayne Parr's round again. Good high right round kick from Buakaw, but he's throwing only the one shots here, is Buakaw, whereas JW is throwing more combinations. Finds the mark with a good 1-2, locks up the tie against the ropes, draws a little knee under the right rib cage.
Well, just over 30 seconds to go, and time is of the essence here for both fighters.
Buakaw going for a waist clinch. It's a bit of a waltz into centre ring.
And just wait when that 10-second clacker hits, that both of these fighters will open up, no doubt.
It's not a clacker, Hammer. It's some hot Jamaican girl absolutely slamming her hand on the canvas.
She goes. Getting herself in position now.
Crossing elbow from JW. He went for the gash maker to open up what we call the money box on top of the head of Buakaw. It is not what Buakaw wants with that K1 fight in 2.5 weeks' time. You've got to wonder at this stage if that is going through Buakaw's mind, if maybe he's not opening up as much as we thought he may have. Does a bit of quick evasion, gets out of the way of the round kicks of J-Dub. End the fight, Hammer, and both men pump their fists into the air as I give the final round a 10-9 to John Wayne Parr.
I'm going to go with you on that one, and I'm going to look at the scores in reflection. Give the first 2 rounds. Let's play devil's advocate here. Give the first 2 rounds to Buakaw. Definitely the last 3 have to go to the Aussie John Wayne Parr.
Okay. If you do that, Hammer, it's 49-48 to JW. On my scorecard, I've got it 49-47 to JW. Either way, I've got it to JW.
Either way, it's got to be to JW.
Now, Hammer, my question is...
He's not looking...
I feel that Buakaw really slowed down after the second round. What do you think happened to Buakaw? He didn't seem to have the same crack, the same pace, the same aggression that he had in the opening 2 rounds. As we have a look at some of the action of JW hunting down Buakaw here in the final round.
Well, I feel Buakaw didn't stay with the game plan that he had employed in the first and second round. You know, certainly in the clinches where he's comfortable, but I think that topic we spoke of earlier, that his concern not to get cut with elbows, made him stay at range, made him want to stay out of that clinch for fear of getting cut with an elbow because of his upcoming fight. John Wayne Parr perhaps exploited that opportunity, tried to get into the clinch as we're seeing now, and perhaps that would have been where he should have worked a lot more. But not to say he's done anything wrong at all in this fight, JW, apart from the fact that I feel he probably started a little slow. But he did finish stronger. He did let his hands flow. He did have better technique and was the aggressor, certainly in the 4th and 5th, which is where a lot of the high scoring comes from the Thai judging.
Will it be a cause for celebration here tonight in Montego Bay for John Wayne Parr, Australia's all-time greatest and arguably one of the greatest, if not the all-time most decorated Western Muay Thai fighter, John Wayne Parr, runner-up at the Contender Asia Season 1 last year? Or will it be celebrations for Buakaw Pramuk in his return to Muay Thai rules, the world's former middleweight champion? He defeated John Hodd for the title in 2006. Wayne Parr was also a former champion who lost the world title fight against Yodson Klai.
It's a bit of the Thai hoodoo for John Wayne Parr with certain Thai fighters, and he's fallen victim to some very controversial decisions in his time. Let's hope tonight is not so controversial. 100th fight, will it be heartbreak or jubilation for John Wayne Parr? We'll find out in a few short moments as the scorecards are tabulated.
We're almost ready for the results. As I look around the audience here in Montego Bay, so many celebrities on hand as well. Just looking to my right, Grant Show, Jake off Melrose Place is here. Also, the beautiful Elizabeth Hendrickson from The Young and the Restless, who had a great time partying with last night, Hannah. She's a lovely lady. And let's go now for the official results. Cedric, the entertainer.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the scorecards. Let's give it up for these fighters. Let them know you love it. Judge 1 scores the bout 49-48. Judge 2 scores the bout 49-46. And Judge 3 scores the bout 50-49. All in favor, and the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner.
Oh, Buakaw's taken it. Buakaw has taken it on all 3 judges' scorecards here, and absolutely dejected, and I might say, Hammer, a little miffed John Wayne Parr. We thought Parr had it.
Well, certainly John Wayne didn't look as confident as I would have liked to see him at the end of that fight. I think he was a little down on himself, and his confidence level wasn't as high as it perhaps should be, and the hoodoo stalks John Wayne Parr yet again, with Buakaw getting what I believe is a bit of a controversial decision here in Jamaica.
I'd tell you what, this one will be debated worldwide on the internet forums. Buakaw now taking his 188th career victory. More important than that, though, he is now the world's WMC junior middleweight champion. Here's again a look at how it went down for Buakaw Pramuk. Throwing a knee to the midsection there on JW, just dumping the Australian to the canvas. And let's go now inside of centering, but Paul Lazenby is going to chat with the world champion Buakaw Pramuk, and also the Aussie John Wayne Parr. Here's Paul Lazenby.
Thank you. First of all, I want to congratulate both of you gentlemen. Very, very credible title challenges, both of you, and an unbelievable match. Thank you. Unbelievable match. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one more hand for what was an absolutely incredible World Muay Thai title match. Neither one of these men is walking out of here a loser. Buakaw, first I would like to ask, it's well known that you have a very important match coming up in Japan in a short amount of time. And I'm wondering if, with John Wayne Parr being one of the best Muay Thai fighters in the world, you felt extra pressure that perhaps this fight would affect your performance in Japan.
ถามว่าเขารู้ว่าอีกไม่นานนี้เองจะต้องไปต่อยต่อที่ญี่ปุ่นเขาก็เลยถามว่าเกรงกลัวบ้างไหมว่าในเมื่อจอห์น เวย์น พาร์ก็เป็นนักมวยระดับโลกเหมือนกันว่าไฟท์เนี้ยจะมีผลกระทบกับไฟท์ต่อไปหรือเปล่าก็คงไม่มีอะไรเพราะว่าก็ร่างกายที่ชกแล้วก็ไม่เจ็บเท่าไหร่แล้วก็จะได้กลับไปเตรียมตัวซ้อมต่อไปชกต่อไปครับ He said it's no problem at all. He didn't get too much punishment just now, so he thinks he can get back home, train hard, and he's ready to fight again.
And I'd like to for coming in much opponents. You cut weight and then gain a lot of points. You back before the fight. You're also known for having exceptional hands. Did you find that those weighed in your favor at all at any point in this fight?
Yeah, my hands usually go all right, but Buakaw's front kick's really hard to get past to land on his face. I had a bit of a hard time bridging the gap and trying to score, but a couple of times I did hit him. I just couldn't capitalise. He's just too evasive. But it was a great match. Thank you once again, Buakaw. That was cool. I hope everyone enjoyed it at home. I hope everyone here in Jamaica enjoyed it, and I hope everyone at home in Australia and around the world loved it as well.
We have two world champions walking out of here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Buakaw, John Wayne Parr. Let's hear it for him. Hammer Michael, back to you.
For that, Paul. Great interviews there in centering. What a fight, JW and Buakaw, as I said last